because I've never seen, but those, oh, look at this too. I'm heading in for the next couple days to try and figure out what's in these massive voids that I found on Google Earth. I'm gonna follow it for the time being, and we will see if it takes me further up canyon or up one of these side drainages that I don't really want to go up. I'm trying to warm my GoPro up in my coat here. You would think an action camera would handle extreme temperatures and stuff well. Holy cow. It's like maybe this was like a living spot down there. I'm gonna have to obviously go in. Let me get down. I was just looking at this wall. You know, it's one of the few sections that isn't completely crumbled up there, like I showed you guys. And then my eyes just boing. Wonder what that animal is. Short ears, no tail. Oh, a bear maybe? Bone of some kind here. Bone fragments. Coincidence or not that they all point towards this pillar of sorts here. There's unfinished business for sure in here. I'll have to come back. Hey everybody, it's Andrew from Desert Drifter. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I don't know if this is brilliance or insanity. Might be a fine line between the two. I'm heading in for the next couple days to try and figure out what's in these massive voids that I found on Google Earth. It's gonna be downright frigid. If I'm lucky, it's gonna stay 10, 11, 12 degrees tonight, Fahrenheit of course. If I'm not lucky, it's gonna hit single digits. Don't let the sunshine fool you. A desert is not classified as a desert based off its temperatures, but by the amount of precipitation it receives each year. The desert can be a cold place. We're hiking into a lot of unknown. A couple of the unknowns. One, I don't know where my water source is going to be, or if there even is a water source. I brought enough water to get me through until tomorrow morning. And if I haven't found water by then, I'll have to turn around and bail because I'll be out. Another big unknown is how much distance am I gonna have to cover over these next couple of days. Some of the spots that I found on Google Earth, I mean, they're far, they're back in there. The scale of this place is massive. It's one of the first things that caught my attention about it. I'm trying to warm my GoPro up in my coat here. You would think an action camera would handle extreme temperatures and stuff well. That thing, man, it's terrible as soon as it drops below, I don't know, freezing. So we will see. The plot thickens. We've got ice, got batteries dying. Again, insanity or brilliance? I guess tomorrow might be the judge of that. GoPro decided to shut down once again. What I was saying about the elk though is I just would not expect them to be this low in elevation. So it's interesting in terms of looking for people of the past. I mean, if they were hunter-gatherers or relying upon game for any kind of their diet, it seems like this canyon would have supported quite a bit of wildlife at one point in time. Well, here's what I've settled upon. It's kind of a lose-lose either way. I either get up high, get out of the cold air that's sinking into this canyon here, but then I'm far away from my water, ice really, and any firewood. Or I can be down here like I am, right next to the creek, ice pond, but I'm gonna be in the the coldest air tonight as it all sinks down. But I found this little shelter here. Check this out. There's natural reflecting rocks kind of all over. I got this little overhang here. Set up a tent, maybe right there. Fire back here. I mean, and then even this blocks me from a little bit of that air moving down. So I don't know. I mean, it's I think as good as it's gonna get. Oh, maybe we got another. That is hard as a rock. Huh. Nope. Oh, how about this? This is broken here. That's what we need. Oh yeah. I mean, that would be so inefficient having to melt. Oh, there's water. Man, that's gonna be hard. Well, if I find nothing better, this can probably work. I want to go a little further before I make camp, so I can't leave this too far behind. It's definitely kind of ridiculous being out here, but it's also definitely kind of fun too. All right, I'm more or less in the vicinity of where I plan to set up camp. I think I'm gonna drop my pack, just do a little scouting to try to find the best spot without my pack on. It's kind of eerie. There's like wind blowing only here. Probably hear the cottonwood leaves rustling. But it's like, it's completely still as far as I can tell. It's weird. There's a lot of really cold air moving down here in the canyon, so trying to get up above it, see if I can find some maybe shelter up behind these cliffs. Actually, I think we're gonna do this spot right here. First things first, gotta get some wood, get a fire going so I can start melting ice. If you're wondering, this contraption is the GoPro. Let me get some layers on here. Thankfully there's a lot of wood that's washed down here in flash floods. Get a little of this juniper bark as fire starter. It's a tiny tree, but it's the only juniper I can find out here. There we go. Juniper bark was miraculous. I would have come better prepared if I knew this water was going to be frozen solid. Figured there'd be a coating of ice. I didn't think this much. This is bougie. I've got this little shelf up here to cook on. Backcountry bouge. Some butter. Ooh, man, you want butter on a cold night. You want fat to keep you warm. Well, I'm gonna get some dinner going before I set up my tent and stuff because I am starving. I'm cooking a mac and cheese tonight with some veggies and bacon in it. It's one of my go-to favorites, particularly when it's cold out. So if you watch the channel regularly, I'm sure you've seen me make it before. Bacon. Can't even let it finish cooking. Ooh, that one's hot. Okay, hopefully I'm gonna be warm. Well, good morning. It's a cold morning, obviously. I'm gonna see if I can get some coals found in this fire and get the fire going again, and breakfast, pack up camp, and then we're gonna get moving. I was actually pretty comfortable in here. A big sleeping bag. Trying to get some camera gear warmed up. I don't know. Might be a lost cause. All right, finally we're moving. So I left my main backpack and a lot of the unnecessary stuff back at camp. My whole reason for backpacking in there is I have to backpack out the same way I came in. So I ditched all the stuff I didn't need. Today I've got this little mini backpack that the top of my big backpack converts into a little backpack. It's confusing, but basically, hopefully we can travel faster, lighter this morning and throughout the afternoon and find some cool stuff. So we're not very far from the first spot that I found on Google Earth that I really want to check out. It looks intriguing, to say the least. Holy cow. That's it. That's the first spot. That looks like it does not disappoint. It looks like it's kind of broken up over here. We can get up. The thing is gorgeous in this lighting. It's quite a climb to get up here. You can see the creek, or whatever you want to call it, down there at the bottom. Now nature does weird things, but doesn't that look like those little ones have been stacked on top by humans? It's right in the entry point where I came in over here. And these here, I mean, again, it's hard to say whether it's natural or this was supposed to be some little enclosure here. Let's keep pushing through here. Wow. Look at that. That's so faint. Oh man, let's go look at that. This is treacherous going through all this stuff. You don't know what's gonna hold and what's gonna tumble. Oh yeah, look. That's 100% a little stacked up there to make almost like a little room. Those pictographs are just like right on the wall there. A little bit sketch, yeah, look at that. 100%. And then those pictographs. Holy cow. Now I know you guys might just look at that and be like, okay, I mean, that's cool. But it's what those things resemble. They look like split twig figurines, which I'll show pictures, when I'm back home. But they're found in the Grand Canyon, and I think they've been dated to, I forget, maybe like Archaic time periods. I think like 3,000-4,000 years old. So I'm not saying that's how old those are. I mean, maybe, but it's crazy because I've never seen, and they look like sheep, and I've seen a lot of sheep pictographs and petroglyphs, but those. Look at this too. I mean, it's so faint, but look at this bigger one, how its head is facing like back over its body, facing to the right. That one's facing left. It almost seems like maybe there's a baby like nursing under the mom or something. So there, the cavity, it's like maybe this was like a living spot down there. I'm gonna have to obviously go in. Let me get down. Yeah, I mean, the more I see now, the more it's clear that there are human-made walls here. Look at this enclosure. Certainly rudimentary, but I mean, that's Mother Nature does not do that. And it's looking out, huh? Ooh, yeah, it's looking right out at this pillar here. The light's kind of hard on it. Pretty wild, huh? To either think about this as, a dwelling place. Who knows? Maybe 3,000-4,000 years ago, or maybe a place of ceremony. Pretty wild to imagine. I mean, there's numerous things that kind of blow my mind and intrigue me about this. The one is how long these might have been here. I mean, obviously, I have no idea. There's just so much rockfall You would think that this fell, I don't know, sometime last couple thousand years, but some of this rockfall could be, who knows how old. It's not to say that there isn't any new rockfall, but the fact that these, sort of rudimentary walls are still preserved, who knows how long ago, is not a recent, rockfall event. And really actually looking up kind of on the ceiling, you can often tell if it's like a really fresh rockfall. I mean, this is not, I wouldn't say anywhere close to being fresh. Now looking back at that first thing that I was like, well, is that natural or man-made? I mean, I'd say 100% man-made. There's that, a little, house or whatever you want to call it down there. Here's another wall. Pictographs are just right there. Now what is no doubt occurring is all this little stuff just peeling off here, which, if there was more artwork at one time along here, I mean, it's probably long gone. It looks like here, another, little wall of sorts. That's definitely out of place, a log. Looks like it's been burnt a little bit maybe. I don't know, obviously, what time period. Oh, that looks interesting. That seems, right, like a pile for some, it's a line. I mean, yeah, that's not natural. Oh yeah, a bunch of charcoal in here. Huh, be interesting to get carbon date on that. More burnt wood. Yeah, once again, you got a kind of a wall here. Is that? I was trying to see, yeah, that's all just sandstone. I was trying to see if any of it was mortar, like man-made mortar, or just sandstone. Oh, wow. Look at that. Holy cow. That's Barrier Canyon style stuff in there. Maybe something there too. I was just looking at this wall, it's one of the few sections that isn't completely crumbled up there like I showed you guys. And then my eyes just boing. I wonder what that animal is. Short ears, no tail. Oh, a bear maybe? I don't know, what do you guys think? You can see how it's been, like its body's been scratched in there. Looks like it was painted significantly at one point in time and has faded. I love with that one, it looks almost like wings, but it looks like just a hand swipe that just put all that paint there. Kind of eerie. Coincidence or not, that they all point towards this pillar of sorts here. This whole area, it's actually a rincon. I'll have to show you guys, like with the drone and stuff. But the river, creek, whatever, the body of water that's come through here in the past, eons ago, wrapped around here. Then over time, it just cut through, the water cut through that and left this little island here. And that one definitely kind of looks like a face. Recently, I've been talking with the anthropologist, and she's been sharing some really interesting information about this kind of stuff. I can't tell, but that looks like it could be something right there. Up close, I see nothing. It's pretty wild just looking up at this thing. I don't know how well the camera will do it justice, but it just almost looks like a castle, a fortress up there with all that rock. Now, of course, I could have missed stuff, but I didn't see anything else on this slope, on any of those boulders with the desert varnish. But I'm really curious to go look at this pillar out here. I mean, this has to be one of, if not the biggest alcoves I've ever been in or seen. Absolutely massive. Look at that thing. It's wild how somehow it's all holding together. Although it looks more broken than intact, doesn't it? I don't know, man. This is a place that feels old, for lack of a better way to put it. I didn't see anything else here, so think what I'm about to do, I'm about to lose my mic and my main camera because even though I tried to charge them last night, it was just too cold. They wouldn't hold a charge. So I'm gonna go out here in the sun. Whew, feels nice. And I'll probably do a lunch break, charge up some batteries so we can keep pushing on. And I know that this is only the first spot that I saw on satellite imagery. So, I mean, there's others I want to get to, but I can't help feeling a little haunted that I missed something in there, but I don't know what. All right, back on the road post lunch. The reality is there's a bunch of the blank voids further up the canyon. I also saw a bunch in this big side canyon that comes in here. So I don't know, it's a hard call, but I think I'm gonna try this side canyon. Gosh, look at that one. I don't even know if that's one I marked on Google Earth, but that looks like it could have promise, doesn't it? Here's a little one. No, pretty overgrown back here. Almost looks fake. Oh, that one certainly looks intriguing, doesn't it? Huh. That looks like, I don't know, you know, doesn't that look like that's been piled up over here? I mean, that one's pretty torn down. Bone of some kind here. Couple bone fragments. Nothing else that I can see here. I definitely underestimated this place. I underestimated how much time I would lose just fiddling around with the cameras and stuff in the cold. Hate to say, but I'm losing daylight already. These days are just so short. I've still got to get back to my bag, my big bag, right? Hike out to the car tonight, ideally before pure dark sets in. There's unfinished business for sure in here. I'll have to come back.